Hey guys, and welcome to my 33 weeks pregnancy update for baby number 3. Let's hop in and first of all do a bump shot for you guys. So here is the 33-week baby bump for baby number 3. So this week I did have one appointment at Maternal Fetal Medicine, which is the high-risk pregnancy doctor, and so I do have some information to share about that doctor's appointment. I had a little ultrasound and some NSTs, fun. and then also I have some regular old symptoms and things that are happening in my life kind of stuff. So let's hop in. Okay, at the maternal fetal medicine ultrasound, I didn't get a weight measurement. They were just checking on my fluid levels pretty much and making sure, I can't remember what they call it, but they do a little test on baby to make sure they're moving so many times and they're doing practice breathing and then checking the amniotic fluid. It's like this whole series of like little checklist stuff they have to check off to make sure baby is doing that and that baby is healthy and doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? So I didn't get a weight measurement, which I was really bummed about because I have an exact weight measurement for that exact day with Calvin, my first son, and I really wanted to be able to compare them like really closely like that, but didn't get a weight measurement this week. Heart rate was at 144. We tried to get a 3D shot of baby's face, but they had their hands and arms like all up in their face. It was very hard to see anything really well, so we didn't get a good 3D shot. Baby is head down again. What the heck? Just last week at my appointment, baby was breech, so baby's just doing whatever they want to do. Hopefully they will stay head down from here on out. Not that it really matters because I'm having a C-section anyway, but I don't understand why this baby can't sit still. They're like always in a different position when I go in for an ultrasound. And that ultrasound in particular was very uncomfortable. I don't know what it was. It was a different room than I usually have my ultrasound in, and the bed is slightly different than the one in the other room. And so I was just super uncomfortable. I did not want to be lying on my back. Like within a minute of lying on my back, I was like, I need to move. I need to lay on my side. I need to do something because this is so uncomfortable. I was getting like hot and just like, I just knew it was not right. I could not be laying on my back. So that was weird. I don't think I've ever really had anything that intense at an ultrasound laying on my back. I have had moments where I just didn't feel comfortable, like just a little bit, but never where I was like hot and like knew something was not right if I were gonna stay on my back like that. So she let me move to my side, of course, and that was perfectly fine. That was much better, of course, and I got better like instantaneously, so that was great. I was like, what on earth is happening? I really feel like terrible laying on my back like this. And at the ultrasound, she did measure my fluids, and my fluid levels were terrible. I was measuring 29 centimeters, which is definitely polyhydramnios, and so much more than it was last week. I have no idea how we went from, what were we at, like 18 last week? 18 at last week's appointment. 1 week later, I'm at 29 centimeters. And I know that it can kind of vary depending on where baby's laying, who the ultrasound tech is, and how they're measuring. You know, you can have slight variances, but 18 to 29 in a week? What on earth? Oh my gosh. So I was like bummed about that. I don't know. I wasn't really like it hasn't caused me any anxiety. I'm not super worried about it. You know, I'm not like freaking out about it or anything, but it was a real bummer after last week's number like being halfway decent at 18 and then coming in and seeing 29 for this week. I was like, what the heck happened? So yeah, because of the high fluids, they're going to have me in weekly now for an ultrasound and to do a non-stress test every single week from here on out, which is not fun because that's just like so many appointments, you know. But yeah, if you don't know, the NSTs are where they put these straps on your belly and these little monitors, and they're monitoring your contractions and baby's heart rate to make sure baby is responding well if you do have contractions and stuff like that. So I'm totally familiar with those. With my first pregnancy, with my son Calvin, I was in the hospital from 32 weeks to 37 weeks, and we did NSTs first thing in the morning and right before bed every single day for an hour. So I know what that's all about. I'd much rather come in once a week to do NSTs than be in the hospital and have to do it twice a day, right? So I'm trying not to complain about the extra appointments, you know, but at the same time, those extra appointments do make me nervous because with my second son, Aaron, I went to a doctor's appointment, had an ultrasound, did the NST, and then Aaron was not responding well to my contractions, and so I had to stay overnight in the hospital 2 nights, and that was no fun. But he never again had a bad reaction to my contractions for those 2 days that I was there being monitored for like 2 days straight. So that was just a scary situation, like thinking that, are they gonna make me deliver this baby because he's like not having a good time, you know? So yeah, anyway, around these weeks, 31 weeks, 32 weeks have historically not been my favorite part of pregnancy with both of my previous boys. This time around, we're at 33 weeks and nothing stupid has happened yet. So I'm really happy with that, and you know, fingers crossed that it stays that way until baby comes, hopefully after 37 weeks. I can't believe 37 weeks is so close. That's like insane to say. Like it's only a month away. Oh my gosh. And both of the boys were born at 37 weeks. So I have a very strong feeling this baby will probably be right around the same age as well when we decide to give birth, when baby decides to come or the doctor decides to do the C-section or whatever. So yeah, anyway, one more thing that I did want to mention. At the ultrasound, the lady said that baby did have a lot of hair, and she was showing it on the back of the head, which I think is very common. They said that about the boys too, that, oh, they've got lots of hair, but it was like measuring right here on the back of the head, and like pretty much all babies have lots of hair right there. The boys were pretty bald. I would not say that either of them had a lot of hair, like definitely not a lot of hair. But she also said that she saw a bunch on top, which could actually mean that baby does have a significant amount of hair. So that would be exciting. I had a lot of hair when I was a baby. I was dark hair from the beginning. My husband was blonde and more bald. And so the boys have both taken after my husband in that department. I would love to see a full-headed, dark-haired baby. That would be amazing. I would love that. I don't want to get my hopes up though, because neither of the boys were like that. Okay, so that's it for the doctor's appointment. Let's talk a little bit about random other symptoms and stuff going on. I've definitely had some low back aches this past week, and I've had my first hip aches. Both of them being like overnight, when I'm getting up in the middle of the night to go pee, like my hips just hurt just on the, 10 steps to the bathroom. My hips are just achy, and my low back has been achy, and things are starting to ache. So Calvin is convinced that baby is a girl. Calvin is my oldest. He's gonna be 5 in May. He is convinced the baby is a girl. Both of the boys know the names that we have picked out for boy or girl, and you guys probably know the girl name if you've watched any of my name videos. But Calvin is convinced that it's a girl. He'll put his hands on my belly and say, do you want me to feel the girl? Do you want me to feel baby? And give her name. And so I'm like, I don't want you to get your hopes up, little man. We don't know if it's gonna be a girl. I'm convinced that it's a boy. I've pretty much been convinced that it's a boy for a long time now. But Calvin, my oldest, is all of a sudden this past week totally convinced that it's a girl. And he's like, stop calling them they. Stop calling it them. It's a girl. It's a girl. You gotta call her by her name. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because Calvin predicted that my nephew, Aiden, was going to be a girl. He was convinced that he was going to be a girl, and Aiden was definitely a boy. So I don't know if Calvin's really got this psychic thing down. Guys, this week I saw practice breathing from my belly, from the outside of my belly. And I had heard that people had seen that people could, witness that on their bellies, and I was like, these people gotta be crazy. There's no way. But I saw it for real this past week. I never saw it with either of the boys. I never thought it was even possible. I thought it was crazy. But I definitely saw it this week, and it was really weird. It shocked the crap out of me. I was genuinely shocked to see that. And along with that, I can't believe how much I can feel and how much I can see this baby moving. Knowing that I have an anterior placenta and I have high fluids, I see this baby's little, elbows and knees and feet and stuff poking significantly out of my belly more than I ever did with either of the boys. I have no idea why that is this time around, and it was not with my 2 previous pregnancies. I just cannot believe how much I can see and feel of this baby. It's really, really weird. So I have noticed that on days when I overdo it, when I stand for too long, if we're doing too many things throughout the day, we're running around doing errands and like, you know, visiting people or like walking around a lot or playing with the boys a bunch, you know, just doing a lot of movement, I totally pay for it the next day. I can feel it in my back and my hips. I feel like I have more contractions the next day. I feel like any little thing can like set off contractions the next day, so I can definitely tell when I have overdone it. I totally pay for it the next day. It's very apparent to me. But overall, yes, my body aches a bunch. I do feel like things are just more achy this time than they were with the boys. Like I just feel physically more worn down this time than I did with my previous 2 pregnancies. And even though I do feel like that physically, I feel like I've been less whiny lately because I know we only have like a month left of this. Like I can see the finish line. I can feel it. I know that it's soon, you know, I know that we're gonna have this baby and meet this baby in like a month. And I feel like I'm not whining as much to my husband like about my back or my feet or whatever. I'm not whining to him as much because I know that we're getting closer. You know, when I was starting to feel achy around like 27, 28 weeks and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this for another 10 weeks. That was a lot. Thinking about it being 10 weeks away, like that felt like a lot. But now that we're getting closer and we're down to the wire here, I feel like I'm less whiny. I feel like I'm like dwelling on it less, like about the achiness and everything, about like all of the physical symptoms of being pregnant. I feel like I'm just cool with it more than I was, you know, a month ago, knowing that we only have about a month left. So that is it for today's little pregnancy update. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did like it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video. Let me know in the comments below if there are any other pregnancy related or motherhood, baby, whatever kind of video topics you want me to talk about. Leave them down below in the comments and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!